Hello everyone. I hope this message finds you fit and fine. My name is Shashank Tyagi and I welcome you all to Contest series on Indian polity based on Lakshmikant. Today we need to talk about part 2 of Indian Constitution, which is citizenship. But before I start talking about the provisions mentioned in Indian Constitution from Article 5 to Article 11, I have a question for you. How many of you actually connect with the idea of citizenship? The role it is playing in our life, how it has evolved. Because the nature of examination has changed in past few years. And when it comes to Indian polity, it is not just about provisions. It is also about your understanding of the principles on which these provisions were actually added in our constitution. And your practical, understanding of these provisions give you edge when you write in mains, be it GS paper, essay, or your PSR optional, if someone from PSR optional, and it plays a role in interview as well. Since you have to get into the leadership role of the esteemed service of this country, I expect you to assimilate, think, not just understand. Today, our topic is Indian citizenship. But before I start, I want to talk about citizenship as an idea. What do you think is the importance of citizenship? Why this idea actually emerged? Here we can see this word city, and actually it emerged from the word city. In common parlance, we use the spelling city. Because in ancient Europe, people used to connect their identity with the government at the level of city itself. And that's why the popular word was city-states. Like, we are Indian. We connect our identity with the India as a nation, country. But there was a time people used to connect with small city. And the government at these cities, at the level of the cities, was sovereign in themselves. They used to have their army as well. Those who were not capable of having army, they used to borrow fighters. Right? Now, this is city. But how this is connected to citizenship? Now, there was another word, citizen. Anglo-French word. This word means the people living in these cities. And these people are not just living in these cities. These are legal members of the state. Now, what change does it make? Yes, it does make some change. In present time, India is a state. When I am using the state, I told you the word state is used in two contexts in Indian Constitution. I am going to talk about this word state again when I am going to talk about Article 12. Okay? So, state and the other meaning of state is provinces like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, right? So when I say India as a state, so state as a concept talks about a political entity which is having some territory. एक जगह होनी चाहिए, boundary होनी चाहिए, पता होना चाहिए that yeah, this is our territory. Then there should be some population living in the territory. Then there should be some government. Should be some government there. Because government is necessary to make law, to execute that law, so that this population can live peacefully. Can you live without a government? If we remove Delhi police or any police around, judges, courts, for one day, do you think we can actually sit in such a peaceful manner? No, right? And this government should be sovereign. When I say sovereign, it means this government is free from any external influence when it comes to taking decisions for the betterment of these people living in this territory. Right? Now, in part 1 of Indian Constitution, we have already talked about territory part, right? Union its territories, Article 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now, second, that's why our constitutional framers dedicated second part to the population. And now when I say population, it means people living in Indian territory. Can we call all of them as citizens of India? No. This population which lives in this territory may be of two kinds. One, citizens, and others, aliens. Now some of you might say, aliens? Is it about extraterrestrial objects, or is it about some other solar system or some entity like Zadu, koi mil gaya? Nahi. In legal sense, we categorize people into two parts, right? How law is going to treat you, a country's law is going to treat you, depends on which side you are standing. Okay? So you can be a citizen. If you're a citizen, it means you are legal member. You are legal member of this state. And those who are alien, it means they are foreigner, right? Means they are here maybe for doing some job. They are here for say as a tourist, right? And there can be two kind of aliens. One are friendly alien and other are enemy alien. If I ask you how you are going to categorize Pakistan if a Pakistan citizen is in India. Now that person is in our territory, he is not a citizen, he is an alien. Where you are going to put? Some of you might say, sir, enemy alien. It's quite obvious. But that's not true. Legally, that person would be categorized as friendly alien. Why? Because you can categorize someone as enemy alien only when we are on war with that particular state, with that particular nation. Okay? Now, this thing is clear to you. Now the point is, what is the benefit? Why we need to say that citizen is a legal member? So my friends, citizenship as an idea actually establish your relationship with a state. Now some of you might say we don't need these relationship. Why? आप कहेंगे कि भाई हम तो जो काम करते हैं फायदे के लिए करते हैं. फायदा बताइए इस रिलेशनशिप का फायदा क्या है? We remain in relationship till that relationship serves us, otherwise we do the breakup. Right? Some of you might be thinking like this. So my friends, yes, you have some benefits here. Take example. You have your home. Your home has a territory. This territory has some population or not? Yes, you will say, yeah, sir, this territory has population. Our family. Now, this family is governed by some government. Take example that your parents, right? They are deciding how this house is going to be done. So, their government. Okay. Now, do they have sovereignty? Yes, they have sovereignty. They are not going to accept intervention of neighbors in the affairs of their home, right? So, consider that we are talking about your home as a state, right? As an idea, right? Now when it comes to population, so I told you family, but apart from family, there may be some guests, there may be some friends who may come into your home, come into your territory. Now you are categorizing them as citizen and alien, right? Whoever neighbor, relative, they are alien. Now friendly and enemy, you better know them. On the basis, the terms and conditions you are having, right? Now, our focus is citizen. Now you are citizen, and since you are citizen, now you can just think, and you will get the answer of why. You will get the answer of why. do you think your parents have similar concern and your parents are ready to fulfill same kind of responsibilities for your neighbor's kids or for your relatives' kids, the way they love, the way they treat, the way they fulfill the responsibilities towards you? For example, say health, for example, the food, for example, other financial aspects or your emotional aspects, right? So all of these are available to you, right? Not to your neighbor's kid by your parents. Your parents consider that they are government. So how is it possible? Because they have a paper which was given to you, which was given to your parents by the hospital. That's, look, this is the paper which establishes that this person, say Rohan, is your kid. नाम तो रखा नहीं जाता तब तक, means this baby is your actual kid. No one knows whether that paper was correct or not, right? ऐसा भी हो सकता है. But the point is that paper establish relationship between government, your parents, and you, citizen. And because you are a legal member now, paper hai, right? So that's why you are having these services available exclusively to you. And why your parents are so much concerned about you, not neighbor's kid? Because they want to utilize their resources, their time on people who really matter. Others also matter. It's not like they're devil with others. But you are the first priority, right? Now comes the other aspect of citizenship. अब यही थोड़ा ना मजा ही लेते रहोगे citizenship का. कुछ और parts भी हैं इसके. The idea of citizenship is now giving you certain rights, right? And apart from this, you also have certain duties. And when I am saying duties, don't relate with fundamental duties. Because fundamental duty as a concept was added in our constitution way later. We are talking about the principal aspects. Even though fundamental duties are not legally enforceable, all fundamental duties, there's a process to that. Parliament may by law can make fundamental duty, enforceable by law. But the point here is, we are talking about the principal aspect. You have some duties as citizen. There are certain laws which are working, on the basis of which you have to conduct in a specific manner. Since you have rights in your home, you have duties too. Right? Since you have right, consider your home, your country, your nation, India. You have rights. Along with this, you have duties. You cannot break laws. You cannot, make speeches, or your actions cannot actually harm the integrity of this nation. These are certain duties which are connected to the idea of citizenship. Now, the kind of duties and kind of right you have in your country, it depends on, state to state. Means there may be US, there may be Switzerland, there may be Pakistan, Saudi Arab, India. So based on different nations, their state, what their law says about citizenship, what kind of rights, what kind of duties, they may vary. But idea of citizenship actually have this connection of rights and duties. And you will be surprised to know that when this idea was evolving way back, ancient times, I'm talking about 437 BC, before Christ. So at that point of time, this idea was there. But this idea was connected to duty. Idea used to say that citizenship will be given only to those who can contribute in lawmaking process, can contribute in judicial process, can contribute in effective functioning of state. Only those people should be given citizenship. And on this basis, various criteria were made who should be given citizenship and who should not be given citizenship. But my friends, we are living, you can say, in a golden period if we compare to those times and those conception of citizenship. And why I'm saying golden period? Because now the most popular idea of citizenship is full and equal citizenship. UPSC is asking these kind of questions nowadays In prelims as well. Mains तो है ही, ऐसे है, interview है, prelims as well. And then actually students actually start shuffling the pages of Lakshmikant. Oh, where are these points? These points are need to be understood by reading between the lines. So that's why we are having this series. I hope you are going to attain best value from it, from this discussion. Now, full and equal. What does it mean? Full means, it means government has given you a status of citizenship, and by the virtue of citizen, there will be certain rights, certain privileges which are connected to this particular title or this particular privilege which you are having, and now these will be given to all in equal manner. Full means the way rights, privileges are conceived in that particular country in law, they will be fully available to you. It means you will not be barred by some discrimination. Okay, this idea says that. Equal, you will not be discriminated on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, resident, descent, based on country to country. Now the point is, I said to you that we are living in golden age. My friends, we got to experience this privilege in present time because someone fought some war way back, say, in French Revolution. Many people lost their life in French Revolution. Some of you might be saying, yeah, French Revolution se kaise connect? Arey? Our constitutional framers added these ideas in our constitution by virtue of the evolution of these ideas. Because this particular idea that people should be given equal citizenship, this idea emerged in these revolutions. Liberty, equality, fraternity, these were the keywords around which French Revolution happened, right? Then after this French Revolution, there were several movements around the world, and within these movements, these ideas of equality were resonating. And when these were resonating, then our constitutional framers also read these books. They got also influenced with the possibility and the goodness of these ideas. And then these ideas got incorporated in our constitution. So don't you think we should be grateful, not just for our constitutional framers, we should be grateful for the people who fought for these ideas, right? Ideas against discrimination, ideas with citizenship as entitlement, privileges, rights and duties. Because if we don't do our duty as citizen, how can the system run? Right? We are not just at the receiving end. We are also giving the input to the system. That's how this country is running. My friends, all of you are giving taxes. All of you are following laws. Some exceptions can be there. But the point is, we are making this system run. So you should be proud of this idea and you should be grateful from the point these ideas are emerging. Right? Now, so I hope this discussion on this basic conception of citizenship is clear to you, right? Now, because our focus is part 2, so we need to talk about the provisions part as well, right? So citizenship talks about Article 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and every article will be on your tips. I just need your attention here. Now, as I told you, people can be divided into citizen, alien, two type, friendly and this enemy. This is clear to you. Now, based on this differentiation, the type of rights are also going to be different. For example, you are citizen in your home. Just an analogy, just an example. So you are entitled with the maximum benefits, maximum rights. Say 3 example. For example, friendly alien may be entitled for 2 and enemy alien may be entitled for 1. This is just to give you a picture who gets minimum rights and privileges among this categorization, right? But everyone gets some kind of rights. Basic human rights are available to all. Take example of Ajmal Kasab. Ajmal Kasab, who came to India and killed so many Indians, our fellows, he was an enemy alien. But yet, we gave a trial to that person, because this is what our law says. We also wanted to prove to the world that law is there in India, and to say that this particular terrorist was linked to the, you can say, Pakistan, and the attack was from Pakistan. The debate is different, but the point I'm making is some rights are available to each of these three categories. Okay. Another interesting point you would like to know, that when we are going to talk about rights part, there are three categorization or three words which are used: people, citizen, and minorities. Okay, this we are going to use when I'm going to talk about part 3 of Indian Constitution, fundamental rights. I'm just mentioning here because on the basis of this categorization, the entitlement of rights, application of rights changes. Okay, when the word people is, so there are some rights which are available to all people who are there in India. So for example, Article 14, some are available to citizens. For example, Article 15, 15, 16, 19, 29, 30. Now, some are specifically used in context of minorities. For example, Article 29. These articles just an example to let you know that keep your eyes open with respect to rights, which word is being used in that particular article, because UPSC play on these details which many students miss. So when it comes to citizens, if you're a citizen of India, you are specifically entitled to these rights. Article 15, Article 16, 19, 29, 30. In our upcoming video, we need to talk about these fundamental rights in detail. Absorb कर लेंगे इनको, right? But the point is, these are specifically available to citizens of India. Now, constitutional provisions. Let's talk about Article 5. Article 5. As I told you, that Part 2 deals with Article 5 to Article 11. Right? This is quite clear to you. Article 11. ठीक है, ऐसे ध्यान रखिएगा. Now we need to talk about Article 5. Please remember, this word commencement of Constitution will be used by me again and again. Commencement of Indian Constitution. It means I'm talking about 26 January 1950. Commencement of Constitution, 26 January 1950. Now there's a beautiful twist in this part 2. That this Article 5 to Article 10, they all talk about citizenship related to those people who were present at the commencement of Indian Constitution. It means now India was being declared as republic, sovereign, right? At that point of time, who will be considered citizen of India? There was a huge debate in our Constituent Assembly. And why so much debate? Because partition was on agenda, and after partition they were very much clear. So many people who were legally residing in British India now are going to move to, say Pakistan area. Someone belonging to that area is going to move into this area. So much legal work has to be done. Some people will be devoid of citizenship. Some people are going to get citizenship. So on what criteria we should actually agree so that everyone should be better off? Now, there were 100 amendments. There were 100 amendments happened in Constituent Assembly with respect to this particular part, Part 2. 100 amendments with regard to this particular part. Such was the kind of debate. Now the point is, I told you Article 5 to 10 talks about commencement of the Indian Constitution, citizenship specifically with respect to those people who are present. It means if I ask whether Article 5 or Article 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 has some provision related to giving citizenship or taking citizenship from the people who are living presently in India? Do you think that would be true? No, that would be false, because the word used in the Constitution is commencement of Indian Constitution. Okay. Now what Article 5 says? Article 5 says that citizenship is conferred on persons who have domicile in India. It means those who were living in India. एंड के बाद फिर तीन बातें बोली. There are three cases and the word used is or, means should be domicile. It means they are living in India and they want to continue living in India. They have a permanent residence there. When I am saying permanent residence, don't equate it with property. These are some intricacies. Property नहीं बोल रहा मैं, residence रहते हैं and they want to continue living. Now, along with this, there should be one criteria from these three statements which should be true as well. One is, was born in India, or either of parents was born in the territory. Which territory we are talking about? British Indian territory. The territory which on which Indian Union is getting formed. Who has ordinarily been a resident of India for not less than 5 years. 5 years immediately before commencement of Indian Constitution. So commencement of Indian Constitution 26 January 1950. So it means before that, yani ke 5 years, ordinarily that person should be residing. It means there may be a case, a British person who came to India say 6 years back, and that person loved India so much that that person is thinking that I am going to settle in India. So now, will that person is going to get Indian citizenship on the commencement of Indian Constitution? Yes, that person has a chance. Since that person is permanently residing, want to continue in India, and this particular criteria is actually applicable, right? Immediately preceding the commencement, he was living in India for 5 years, right? So that person can get it. Citizenship for the people at the commencement, as I told you. ठीक है, तो this is what Article 5 talks about. ठीक है? Article 6. Now, there were many people who were part of newly formed Pakistan. Okay? And these people wanted to move in Indian territory. So if they are moving into Indian territory, then they were also allowed to have Indian citizenship by virtue of Article 6. Right? So citizenship of certain persons who have migrated from Pakistan, right? Migrated from Pakistan, he or either of his parents or any of his grandparents. In this case, grandparents word is also used. In Article 5, we are specifically talking about the parent word. Grandparents was born in India, as given the Government of India Act 1935, also fulfilling one of these two conditions. And what are those two conditions? How many of you have seen that movie Gadar? Have you seen that movie Gadar, when the Sunny Deol was struggling to enter into Pakistan and they were saying that you don't have that permit? So Tara was saying कि एक permit मुझे रोक लेगा. So what was that permit? That permit is related to Article 6, Article 7. Means there is a mention of this word permit. So one of the two conditions, in case such a person has migrated before 19 July 1948. Now please remember this date, 19 July 1948. 19 July 1948. This date is mentioned in Article 6, and you know Article 6 is talking about people coming from Pakistan area now to India. This 19 July 1948 demarcates the day on which both India and Pakistan started permit system. What does it mean? If you are entering into India before 19 July 1948, you can enter, because permit system started on 19 July 1948. So you can enter simply and you can start living there, right? And you can actually present the all the paperwork, you should engage in the paperwork which is going to happen in the near future. Ordinary resident in India since his migration. जैसे ही migrate किया और आप रहने लग गए. But if you are entering into India after 19 July 1948, अब वहाँ से तो permit system start हो गया. तो वहाँ तो तारा को भी problem हो गई थी गदर मूवी में. तो now what the condition is, he has to register as a citizen by an Indian officer appointed on behalf of government of the Dominion of India. We are using the Dominion of India because we are talking about 1948, right? India got republic, sovereign in 1950, right? So now, it means now you need to have that paper. You need to register yourself as under permit system. Now you have migrated from Pakistan territory to Indian territory and you want to reside here permanently, okay? Now, one condition should be kept in mind, that before these people could apply for the citizenship under Article 6, they should live there, means in Indian territory, at least for 6 months. At least for 6 months, immediately preceding the date of the application. पहले रह लो, देख लो, मन लग रहा है, सब कुछ ठीक है, everything is fine. Now you should actually apply for Indian citizenship, register for Indian citizenship as per Article 6, right? And we are talking about 1948. Talking about Article 7. Article 7 talks about another case. Some people who were living in Indian territory, right? And as the partition happened, they actually thought it is better for them to move into Pakistan territory, right? But as they moved, this was their first step. They found the conditions were quite pathetic there. For example, in Karachi, many people moved from Indian side to Pakistan, and then they found, very deplorable conditions in Karachi, and then they came back. Right? Then they came back. So now, whether these people should be given citizenship or not, our constitution framer said yes. How they can actually have this Indian citizenship? Answer is Article 7. So it is about those people who went to Pakistan and came back to India. Now, the partition date is important here. It means citizens of certain migrants to Pakistan migrated to Pakistan after 1 March 1947. And you should also know that many people were not even aware of the idea of partition. I was reading one memoir of a famous veteran journalist. So there is a wakia there. And there, a person in Lucknow, so he hoisted a Pakistani flag at his home, on the roof of his home. And when neighbors asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I have just listened on radio that everyone has given this choice that you can be part of Pakistan or India. So I am on the Pakistan side. That is why I have hosted the flag of Pakistan, which he got from some rally of Muslim League." The neighbors, some neighbors, they talked to him and he said, "देखिए, उसके लिए आपको घर बार छोड़ के जाना पड़ेगा. You have to, leave your home and then go to Pakistan. Pakistan वहाँ है, वहाँ बन रहा है Pakistan." Then he immediately, he removed the flag. So, this was the condition of the people. They were not aware of what is going to happen with the partition. Many people actually lost their life. In human history, it is one of the, most, you can say, largest migration of humans in human history, right? Now, has to be resident of India for 6 months preceding the date of his application for registration. Same case as I told you in Article 6. अब आने ऐसा याद कर लीजिए, you can easily remember it like this. भाई आने जाने वाले जो भी हैं, have 6 months. पहले कहता है ना कि पहले इस्तेमाल करें फिर विश्वास करें. So similar is the case. First live there and have 6 months time and then apply. That now you are fully settled in your mind. So this is the case. Now comes the point of Article 8. Now, you can easily remember Article 8 by thinking of PIO, person of Indian origin. इनका क्या होगा? What is going to happen with them? Consider some person, say Mr. Rajesh, So Rajesh went to London for pursuing, say, law, and he thought, let's start my legal practice in London itself, because India is not free and we have better facilities here. But as he got the news that India is getting independent, so now he was not present in India, and his parents also moved to London. None of his relative was actually in India. So he completely moved and started his life in London. But now he is having this feeling of nationality. Now he wants to take citizenship of India. Now what to do with him? So he moved to London, say, 30 years before the commencement of Indian Constitution. 30-40 साल हो गए. अब क्या करें? So now these people were also given choice using Article 8 that they can visit diplomatic office of India present in their vicinity, for example in London, and they can get themselves registered there as Indian citizen. So they had the chance. So any person who either of whose parents or any of his grandparents, the word grandparents, right, was born in undivided India and who is ordinarily residing in any country outside, for example Rajesh residing in London, shall be deemed to be a citizen of India if, the word is if, he has been registered as a citizen of India by diplomatic consular. For example, we have our consulates as well as embassies in other nations. These are India's foreign office there, so that we can facilitate the transfer of, facilitate the services which are required by other people who want to come to India and Indians who want to go there, right? Representatives of India in the country where he or she is for time being residing, right? So this Article 8 is applicable on PIO. Please remember these keywords. Remembering these keywords in specific cases make it quite easy for you to understand these provisions. Now, Article 9. You can remember Article 9 by this analogy, 9 wine. Someone must be intoxicated if that person is thinking of giving up Indian citizenship. So Article 9 is connected to the people who were getting citizenship at the commencement of Indian Constitution. But Article 9 says that if someone is having citizenship of another country and now he wants to take Indian citizenship as well, then Article 9 says that no, you cannot have Indian citizenship simultaneously. Person voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state not to be citizens of India. Okay? No person shall be a citizen of India by virtue of Article 5 or to be deemed to be a citizen of India by virtue of Article 6, 8 if he has voluntarily acquired citizenship of any foreign state. Right? वहाँ के हो तो वहाँ के रहो. Right? In case of India, you cannot have two citizenships simultaneously. Although there are countries in the world who allow this, but Indian Constitution does not allow this. Okay? Now coming to Article 10. Article 10 says, सुनिए जो भी लोग citizenship ले चुके हैं. So Article 10 is actually saying that those who have got citizenship by using Article 5, 6, 7, 8, you should consider that your citizenship is also bound by law. Means the conditionalities of your citizenship can be changed by Parliament. So real power of regulating your citizenship is with Parliament. So Constitution has given you citizenship, giving you ways to get citizenship. But in future, your citizenship will be regulated by Parliament. This is what Article 10 is saying. So continuance of the rights of citizenship, every person who is deemed to be a citizen of India under the foregoing provisions, means earlier provisions, or the part subject to the provisions of any law that may be made by Parliament. It means regulating power will be with Parliament. Okay, so this was necessary because as the time with the changing time, say just after 1 year or 2 years after the commencement of Indian Constitution, if our Parliament wants to put some conditionalities on the citizenship criteria on those people who have already got citizenship, this can be done. Okay, by Parliament. Now talking about Article 11. Article 11 you should be interested in, because Article 11 talked about the future of citizenship. It means people who are going to acquire citizenship or lose citizenship, this responsibility is on Parliament. The way means the law will be made by Parliament for acquisition and you can say losing of citizenship. So Parliament to regulate the right of citizenship by law, nothing in the foregoing provisions of this part shall derogate from the power of Parliament to make any provision with respect to acquisition and termination. Please remember, acquisition and termination of citizenship, power lies with Parliament. Please remember that. Okay. Now Parliament used this power which is given in Article 11, and that's how Citizenship Act 1955 was made. Now Citizenship Act 1955 talked about 5 ways of acquiring citizenship and 3 ways of terminating citizenship. All of these are available in this PDF, this PPT, which will be available to you in the Telegram Shashank Tyagi for you. Okay, no need to worry. Now 5 ways of acquiring citizenship. You can easily remember it like this: BRAND, brand. Brand to yaad rakh sakte ho. So these are the 5 ways of acquiring citizenship. B means birth, R means registration, A means acquisition. If some territory is acquired by India, then those people who are part of this acquired territory will be having Indian citizenship as we acquired Goa. Then this naturalization, and then this is descent. I am going to explain each and everything. This is RTD, renunciation, termination, and deprivation. Explaining you each and everything. Now, coming to the birth part. So these are the 5 ways. Okay, coming to the birth part. Now, some people ask this question, these puzzle kind of questions, sir. If some pregnant lady is in the plane, and that plane has entered into Indian territory, and now this baby got delivered in the plane, but this plane is in Indian territory. Now, sir, this baby will be having Indian citizenship or not? My first question is, you should read what birth criteria says. Whatever this point says is going to be applicable there. Let's understand what is going to happen with the baby, this future of this baby. Citizenship by birth is granted if one is born in India between 1952, Jan 1952, June 1987. Dates are not important. What is important is, till 1987, if someone is born in Indian territory, by virtue of this person can be entitled for Indian citizenship by birth. But abhi jo delivery aap kara rahe ho on plane, this is happening now. But this criteria was till 1987. So let's get into the future. Born between 1987 and 2004, and either of parent is a citizen of India. Either of his parent is citizen of India. Means after 1987, now you need to ask the mother, what is your citizenship or what is the citizenship of the father? On this basis, you can give the news, right? Whether baby will be a citizen of India or not. Now the third, after 2004, born after 2004, at least one parent is citizen. At least one parent is citizen. Consider, mother said that I am citizen of India. Then you should not readily declare, oh, this baby will be bestowed with citizenship of India. No, itni jaldi nahi. Check the second part. Other parent is not an illegal immigrant. Other parent. You should ask, who is the father? What is the citizenship of father? And if it is found that the father is living in India as an illegal immigrant, for example, came from Bangladesh via Bajrangi Bhaijan route, has no paper whatsoever, and mother is a legal citizen of India, they made the baby. So in this case, this baby will not be getting citizenship of India by birth. By birth nahi milegi. इतना निराश मत होइए, और तरीके हैं, बट बाय बर्थ नहीं मिलेगी, राइट? I think this point is clear to you. Talking about descent. Descent. It means I'm talking about, granted if person is born outside India, but father is a citizen of India and person is born between January 1950 to December 1940, 1992. So this case is actually applicable to one of my friend. So his father is a cardiologist, and his father was practicing in Iran when he was born. So it is about 1988. So at that point of time, he was born there, and then his parents shifted to India and they settled in India. But he got a problem, because he applied for a master's in US, and he was in trouble because his birth certificate was saying that you were born in Iran, and you know that US and Iran are actually locking horns nowadays, right? So it is about 2015-16, तब से वो issue चल ही रहा था. So at that point of time, so he was having some problems. So he said, actually I got the citizenship through descent, and this was the issue. So he was registered as Indian citizen because his father was actually a citizen of India. He went there just for work, right? Now, born after December 1992, either of parent is citizen of India. Now, don't you think this particular criteria is actually gender insensitive? Don't you think? Father is a citizen of India. What about the mother? Do you think the mother's status is anything less? No, right? So now we have the criteria that if either of the parents are citizen of India or is citizen of India, in that case, even if the baby is born outside India, then they can say that I am citizen of India, and that is why my baby should be given citizenship of India. Then baby will be given citizenship of India. कृपा बरसेगी. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now, which of the following cannot acquire Indian citizenship by birth? Children of foreign diplomats, children of enemy aliens, A and B can acquire, or both A and B cannot acquire. So this is a question for you, and you need to answer in comments. Okay. Coming to the registration part, BRAND, आपको बताया था registration part. So registration is applicable is person of Indian origin has stayed here for 7+ years. Person of Indian origin, but he is not having citizenship of India. Who is person of Indian origin? It means that person was living outside of India, maybe having citizenship there, but now this person has settled in India for last 7 years, and that person is willing to have citizenship of India. Then this citizenship can be given by virtue of registration criteria, right? Second, person of Indian origin and is staying outside of undivided India. So this is coupled with this. Means that person was part of this undivided India, but he shifted somewhere else, right? And now he is claiming his citizenship by virtue of registration, and he has been living in India for past 7 years. So apart from PIO, so one PIO case was Article 8, right? But those PIO were those who were present at the commencement of Indian Constitution. What about the PIOs of present time? How can they take citizenship? So one way is registration. Okay. Apart from this, if someone marries Indian citizens, for example, Sonia Gandhi, so and staying for 7+ years, now on this basis also they can actually file for Indian citizenship. Now comes naturalization. Person not covered by above means birth, descent, registration. If they are not covered in any of these criteria, terms and conditions, now our parliament within our citizenship law may add a schedule mentioning the conditions on the basis of which a person can be given naturalized citizenship. Some examples of this: 2 key conditions: should not be an illegal immigrant. Illegal immigrant means you have moved into Indian territory keeping in mind that I have to settle here. but you don't have any legal documents. You are not given official permission to do that. Should have stayed for 11 plus years in India. So should not be illegal immigrant and you are staying in India for past 11 plus years, then you can apply. Okay. For example, Adnan Sami. You must have heard about Adnan Sami got Indian citizenship through naturalization. You must have also heard about Rahat Fateh Ali Khan. He also applied for naturalized citizenship, but he did not receive this citizenship because it is the prerogative of Indian government whether to give the citizenship to you or not. Although government of India may waive off naturalization conditions, and in what case these conditions can be waived off? If you have contributed extremely well in field of science, philosophy, art, literature, world peace, human progress. As you know, successful people are always given priority. Same is the case in naturalized citizenship, right? If you have made some great contributions in the world, then India as a nation would be, grateful to have you as Indian citizen, right? Now, by incorporating territories, now the condition is acquisition, BRA acquisition. For example, this territory of Goa was acquired. Any new territory becomes a part of India after a popular verdict. The government of India shall specify the person of that territory to be citizen of India. And now this particular statement seems so obvious, right? But the point is, if UPSC make a statement that as per the criteria of citizenship related to a case where Indian government acquire a particular territory, comma, the ordinary residents of this territory will be automatically given citizenship of India. Do you think that statement is true or false? I'm saying that Indian government acquired a territory, say an island in Indian Ocean. Okay, earlier we were not having any claim on that, but we acquired it. Now many people were living there. Now can we actually consider that as per Citizenship Act, by Parliament, now these people living in this territory are automatically citizen of India. So UPSC might play on this word automatically. Okay, so now you should give more focus to this word. Government of India shall specify. The word is shall specify. Pondicherry became part of India under Citizenship Order 1962 and Citizenship Act 1955. So a separate order was also issued. Okay. This is a question you will find in this PDF in Telegram group. You can attempt. Now, termination of citizenship. As I told you, 3 RTD, renunciation. You can easily remember. It means if you are giving up India's citizenship on your own. For example, say Akshay Kumar, Raghuram Rajan, ex-RBI governor. So Raghuram Rajan is a citizen of USA. Akshay Kumar is a citizen of Canada. So as I told you, Indian constitution or Indian citizenship law does not allow you holding 2 citizenship. You cannot have 2 citizenships simultaneously. So as of now, if you have to take citizenship for the nation, then you have to renunciate your citizenship of India. Now some of you might be thinking, sir, we also heard about something called dual citizenship. That's, first of all, you should be clear. India does not recognize the concept of dual citizenship. This dual citizenship word is often used with OCI, as Indian government notified the merger of PIO card and OCI card, Overseas Citizen of India. As OCI card holders, means Overseas Citizen of India card holders, as they get facility to enter into India and go do business in India without any restriction. That's why some people said, oh, these people are also having facilities like Indian citizenship, so we should consider dual citizenship. But these people cannot participate in voting. So Akshay Kumar may actually participate in an advertisement telling you that you should vote but you will not find Akshay Kumar voting until unless he gives up citizenship of Canada and takes citizenship of India, right? Apart from this, they cannot hold positions like president, prime minister, these constitutional positions. Okay. There are all other restrictions as well. For example, they can have commercial property, residential property, but they cannot have agriculture property, right? Now, so renunciation is giving up Indian citizenship on your own. ठीक है, तो ये एक तरीका आपको दिया हुआ है, this process given. Next is termination. Termination means you have applied for citizenship in some other territory, and that territory allows to have you two citizenships. So now that particular embassy or that government is going to ask Indian embassy, sir, this person says that he is an Indian citizen and he has applied for citizenship in our country. So can you please verify from a record that this person is actually a citizen of India? Then as our embassy is going to get that, our embassy in that particular nation will actually send your details to India, and they will ask, sir, this person is willing to take citizenship there and they are okay with giving this citizenship, so let's terminate his citizenship there. So your citizenship here will be terminated. Now deprivation अगर आपने कर्म ऐसे किए हो, right, तो इस basis पे the word deprive is used. For example, in past you have acquired Indian citizenship by some fraudulent means, or during the war you actually conspire against India and you side with enemy. So in this case your citizenship will be taken, right? You will be deprived of Indian citizenship. I hope some of you also heard about this deprivation of Indian citizenship when there was case going on against some students of JNU, and some people were saying, since some slogans were raised, and that's why this person's Indian citizenship should be taken. And some people visualize, if someone's Indian citizenship is taken, it means that person is thrown out of country. Nahi, aisa nahi hai. Citizenship is a legal status that can be taken. You may be deprived, but aisa jaane kaise denge? If law says you have committed this crime, and as per this crime you should have this much punishment, the punishment need to be given, right? So those facilities, the privileges, rights, they may be taken away, right? I hope now you are clear about this. India has single citizenship. When I say single citizenship, it also means that you don't need a separate citizenship for your state. You have one citizenship for India, that's it, right? Citizen of entire country, but in USA they have different. Now in part 3 we have to talk about this idea of fundamental right and the variations in cases in a simple manner, but I want to raise some questions in your mind. I use the word full and equal citizenship is the concept which is followed by most of the nations as of now, and India also adhere to this concept of citizenship, full and equal. Does it mean that there will be no discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth by government just because you are a citizen of India? So let's take the case of Article 16. We are going to understand Article 16 in fundamental rights as well. Article 16 says that state shall not discriminate against the person. This is applicable to citizen on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, resident, descent. Now, but the reality is, in case of public employment, government job. So obviously, government job will not be given to this examination will not be open for all. Examination will be open to Indian citizens, right? Generally, this is the applicability criteria. Now, the point is, I'm making a statement and you have to tell me that statement is true or false. No government employment position, no position in any government service may have a criteria of a religion. Now tell me that statement is true or false. इसको भूल जाइए. Question सुनिए. I'm repeating. No position in any government service may have a criteria of religion. It means that No post will be reserved specifically for a person belonging to a specific religion. What do you think? Some of you might say, yes, yes, that is true. This is quite obvious. Because अभी आपने बताया, state shall not discriminate on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth in matter of public employment. It seems like ये तो बहुत बच्चों वाली बात है. But the point is, there may be some exceptions. For example, there are positions of Pandit to do puja in army as well, in navy as well. Same with church fathers, same with Muslim, position, religious person, Maulvi. So, can a Muslim be a person doing puja for Jawans at that point of time? No, right? So, for some specific positions, religion is maybe a criteria, but that is an exception. You cannot say it as discrimination. That is why this is an exception. I hope you are clear. This is not discrimination, this is an exception. Okay? So, similarly, with respect to some state PCS exams, residence is a criteria to actually give some preferential quota in some states. Right? So, this is also allowed. So, I raise this point just to have some question in your mind. You should think on it, search on it, because we are going to discuss it in fundamental rights. Now, see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. For PDFs, you can connect to Shashank Tyagi for you. I hope this video opened your mind with respect to citizenship provisions. Thank you.